under company, that is, you'll be having this module as an administrator of your company, where you're able to set up the name of the company, obviously the code we shall set up when we are creating it, then the TIN, then you can give it a legal name in case you have. You can say, I'm calling my company, let's say this is SOMAP, Sabtech Online Mini ERP, but the legal name, maybe the TIN I'm going to use is Sabtech Online.
It can be the same name. It can be the same name anyway.
Yeah, it can be the same name, yes. Then the contact information, just make sure that it is a legal information that appears, because remember, I will show you generate invoices, and these details appear on the invoice. Yes. Then here, this is location. Then you have operation settings. If you're operating in USDs, you change that. The time zone, this one determines more when you're creating your documentation and entries, the time you pick. So in case the business is outside East Africa, then you know that. Then if you want to carry on with a default tax rate, you input it here then, but every order or every SKU, you can assign it its own task rate, or when you're creating an invoice, yes. But you can leave this blank because it is optional. Then these are maybe internal notes, just giving a brief to the about the company, just in case, Andrew, I'm not the admin the next day, and I give someone the admin, they can always have these details. Then here,
my question is, how many people can run this thing? Like, how many people can operate it? Because Andrew, I might have administrative rights whereby if a person puts something, they cannot change it without me putting up a what?
No, all that is taken care of, Andrew. Just go to okay. I take you through. I know, yes, those are the questions I always love to hear. People are inquisitive more on that, but everything is taken care of. I'm going to take you through. You create your own staff, and every staff is given a role, and you give them permissions of what they touch and what they don't touch. And whatever you give them access to is what they see here. It means that if you have a warehouse manager or a business or a stock take manager, and you only give them inventory, is what they see. They don't see anything in purchasing, price changes, and all this is not to their visibility, right? So whatever you're seeing here is admin. You may see all this because it is admin. But when we test this to the level when you have created your account, we shall obviously test that. Now let's give this person a procurement manager role. We see whether this person can dispatch or sell or invoice, something like that. All that is taken care of. Okay, since we have started on the setting of the company, let's complete this, then we can kick off to the other modules, right?
Got it.
But I'm recording the call. I will upload this, then give it to you for your review. Now, under setting, there is branding. You can upload the logo. Everything you input here appears on your documentation somewhere. So the logo appears on your invoices. I will show you the invoices I've been generating on my end. Now, the logo for Karaz, you upload it here. Obviously, it has the maximum, how big it should be. It should be a square. Then the domain setting, this one is, the moment you create your company, automatically, it creates a domain, a subdomain. Like, when you're running it on your side, it runs as, let's say, karaz.somap.app. This is going to be our domain. Yes? That wherever you run it, here it runs with your company, then .somap.app. Obviously, is what will be appearing here, but this is still under configuration. Then, still, if you have a custom domain, like you bought a domain, let's say you have a domain, Karaz, maybe company, let me see. It is Karaz Coffee Factory. Let's say you have karazcoffeefactory.com, that is your domain. Then you can say, let's configure my own domain, such that it doesn't come as .somap.app, it comes as your domain. Like you run your domain, then it runs this. That will be configured in future, but it is something that is coming. Then here you set your brand colors. These brand colors manage how your invoice looks like. You see, this is the invoice preview header, the header of the invoice. You see, it picks the logo, it picks the company, it picks the contact email, the company email. You put the other side, the phone number and the TIN. Then this is a footer. Yes. So which means if I change my primary color to be red, you see that changes to red. If I change my accent color to be black, you see that changes black. So you can play with this depending on your color themes of the company, such that when the invoice comes out, it has that theme of the company. It doesn't look like it is outside the company branding, right? So that is done there. Then when we come on documentation and numbering, you decide how your invoices should be numbered, right? We know by default most invoices start with INV dash the year dash then that number that keeps increment or 001, 002. It is automatic in the system. But what you have to administer, that for me, my company, I want the invoice to be having a full name, like a full word like this. You see here the example. It will pick that invoice slash. If you don't want the year to appear, then you remove it, then it will not appear. So you do these settings, you end to make sure that it aligns with maybe what you have been running in the business. But these are the defaults, right? When you have changed, then a quotation, then purchase orders, then goods receipts notes, GRN, then sell orders SO, then delivery notes DN. If you're going to deal with delivering, it is a trips. But if you don't need the trip bit module, you can always switch it off. I'm going to show you the next, how you switch off some of the modules you're not going to capture in your business, such that the workflow changes. Then when we come to the modules, these are the modules you want to run with a business. If you say that in my business we don't do deliveries, I don't want to see anything like transport logistics, then I will come and switch off delivery here. The module delivery. The moment you switch it off, you see when it disappears. Here you see trips and logistics.
On the dashboard.
Yeah, which means no staff of yours will ever see it. It is only the admin who knows that we switched off this. Then with time, as we run and we start backing up data of different clients of ours, these modules will be given rates. Like, let's say when you're renting out the monthly subscription, it means that some of the modules will come with rates depending on how we pay for the APIs this side, right? Like if we add a module, let me get an example that we have added a module for FRIS integration. You get it? It means that the module for FRIS integration, because we pay those charges backwards, it means it comes with a charge. Like if we get tomorrow Andrew Kara's coffee company, a factory, and they say for us, we agreed with URA, we can do an internal integration. Like every invoice, we need to digital stamp it. It means that such a module comes with a charge. Then there are modules like me, I will need my people to pay, maybe I need my people to do maybe PaySapal to post the money directly, something like that. It depends on how we shall run that. So some modules,
now you're right.
Now the subscription you're asking, here it is. So we have the starter module. Right now the account I'm using is on growth module because I have 6 users. It means the starter module is up to 3 users. Up to 3 users. Right now it is at 75,000, but this is liable to change depending on the different things that will come with the system, right? Then there is growth, which goes to when you go beyond 3 users. 3 users is you have registered 3 staff to access the system. Maybe you have a salesperson, you have an inventory person, you have a finance person, you have an admin who is going to keep managing who is accessing what. Yes. Then there is Pro, which goes beyond 10 people. Then there is Enterprise, which is something like they need a lot of setup and configurations, then we can do that extended for them. That becomes the subscriptions. Obviously, this subscription can either be monthly. You can say, me, I'm paying quarterly, then the quarterly comes with a discount. Maybe I'm paying 6 months, 6 months comes with a discount. Like, you have already decided, you have tested it, right? And you say, this is a minimal ERP I want to run with my business. It is not so sophisticated. It is not so lean that at least most of the things are in control. You say, I'm going to use it for the next 6 months. Then you don't want to be having those reminders every month. Or you don't want your team to tell you that, do you know, boss, we can't access the system because our subscription got expired yesterday, because it is automated. I have integrated with PesaPal. But more payments will be integrated. So you say, like, I'm going to pay 6 months. Or because I need a 10% off, let me pay 6 months rather than paying monthly. So that is a decision you take on how to run it, right? Okay. Then there is data migration. Like, you've already said, Andrew, you have data you have been running with maybe for the last 5 months, right? So we have we have a feature that we have added that we can upload your previous data. And the data we can upload, we may not upload the sales you did. Maybe you can punch them in as bulk, something to do with that. But the only thing we import here is master data. That is the product catalog. Here you can look at the columns. We take mandatory in red, then the ones in amber, they are optional. If you don't have them, you leave them blank. But these ones in red are mandatory, that when you're registering your products, we need a name, the SKU, the unit of measure, the cost price, and the selling price, right? As at the point when you're uploading them, because we have price management, you can go ahead, do price changes going forward. So here it's very easy. You download the template, you fill it with all the data, then you come and import. Automatically, it will be affecting your master data under products, right? The same thing to do with customers. If you have a list of customers you have been working with and you don't want to register one by one, we have a feature here that you can import all the customers. Then same thing to do with suppliers, and same thing to do with opening stock. It means that the day you say that we are kicking off with this in 1st of June, it means 1st of June you're going to hold StockTech with your team. Then after holding StockTech, you're going to input a list of all the SKUs, the branch or the warehouse code where you have done it, because we shall have maybe configured all that in the system. Then the quantity, what you have stock taken, which is going to be your opening stock. Then when you upload this, it means now going forward, any receipt that comes through has to be punched in the system. Any sale you make, you have to put it in the system such that we manage the inventory in and out, right? So that is a feature we have that can do the data migration. Then here there is an option you can request a concierge onboarding. Like, you request Sabiti, I'm going to give you all my data, help me upload it. Maybe I may not have the capacity to do that. This is just like a request. You fill in this form, then we confirm that yes, you have requested, we can do it for you. But it is something easy to go by. So that is to do now with the settings, only settings. Then I will need now to take you to the master data before we go to the other operations. In master data, what involves in master data? Now, when you go back to the dashboard, you'll realize that the dashboard has links to all the modules. Like, when you come under master data, I can know I have 6 members. I have 9 roles that I'm running with. I have 3 branches. I have 3 warehouses. I have 20 customers. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Now here on master data we have team. This is what you are asking. Actually, I was showing you on the dashboard. Just a moment. The dashboard gives you a flash of every number you have. Yes, on your end. And here, just this one gives you a highlight of what finance has to consider reconciling. Like you have receivable 1,000, that you have a customer who demands an invoice of 1,000 shillings. Then payables is 0. It means it is balanced. We have paid all our suppliers, but there is a customer who demands that. Then these are orders as how they are denoted: open SOs, waiting, and all that, purchasing, returns, inventory. Now the master data, this one gives you 20 supply customers. If I tap this, obviously it takes me to a page where I have all my customers. So these are the customers I've booked in, giving even we gave them credit limit. If you if you need to maybe push a credit out, there should always be a pop-up that this customer is going to exceed their credit limit, just in case. Then let's go directly here. Now here you start with your team. So Andrew, I'm bringing in someone who is going to do my inventory. I'll just come here, add the user. Who is the user? Sabiti Christopher. This is the email. The role is going to take maybe a sales personnel. Is going to work maybe on Kasese branch, right? Christopher. Then this is email, sales that. Then I say add user. I'm not going to add because this is an admin on another account. So when I say add user, this person, when he goes to his account, I can use maybe another page here. This person, when he goes to his account, I'm signing out just to go on the front page. Just give it time. Okay, here it is. This is the front page. Actually, this is the home page when you open it, giving all the details. Then this person comes on create account. They first create an account. So you'll guide them. These are the details you're going to input. Put your name, put our company. This is the spelling of our company. Then they put their phone number, their email. They create a password for themselves. They accept the terms and conditions. Then they create. The moment they create an account and you have already invited them, they will automatically drop into that mode of being a sales personnel, right? But they can still create an account before you invite them. They will have a note that your account has been created. Wait for your administrator to give you a role. So it means that when you come this side and add a user, it will automatically pick them here, then you give them a role, right? Now if you see the users I'm having, like an accountant, it means that this accountant is having permissions that he can access. We are going to look at that, how you give permissions. Procurement manager, they have permissions they can access. They don't access everything. So you have active, you have invited, you have suspended. The moment a user is created, you can't delete the user because they are records that are attached to that user. You can only suspend them in the system such that they can't log in, right? So when we come to roles, now that's where you manage the roles you as you. Just a moment, give it some time. I think because I had logged out the other side, then it logs out. So you can't log in twice on more than one device. It means I can't have someone using my account somewhere and I'm also using it.
Okay.
Yes. So here, you see under roles, these are the roles I created. So if you go to under sales, and I say let me edit, just to go to edit, what does the salesperson access? So this salesperson has no super admin user. They don't do anything to do with inventory. It means even they don't see this module of inventory. Their only thing is they view sale orders and they create orders and edit them. Editing them is like transitioning them from one stage to another for them to be invoiced. They don't do anything in procurement. They don't do anything on invoicing. they don't do anything in delivery, they don't do anything on returns, they don't do anything on creating products and viewing them, they don't do anything on price management, which has a lot of roles: viewing, creating, requesting, approving, void, view prices history, allowing selling below buying price. So you can even have someone on your team that can only sell items under below buying price, which means they are selling at a loss. That person
Yes.
can, on the team, you can have someone who can only complete an order that has a selling price lower than the buying price, because it is already approved. That person, you trust him on the team. Even though you get negative margins, they can explain that we decided this in the meeting, right? So that role is there. And customer and supplies, we have user settings like what we are on, that this person can change users, can change roles, can do this and that. Then viewing reports, maybe it is default to anyone, but you may say, I have a contractor who is on internship, we don't want him to look at our reports. Something like that. Then finance controls, override locked future transactions. So someone can have a finance role and have all the other above, but you may have a finance manager who can override a locked or future transaction. It means that someone can sell an order on 31st of May, which we haven't reached. Right? Someone can sell and can create an invoice and give it a date of 2nd of May, which is a past date. This is the person who can override locked and future transactions. Yeah. So that's how you give roles. So when you look at this, every role has different permissions they can do. What an accountant can do, what a dispatch manager can do, what an auditor can do. Because when you look at auditor, you give them nearly, they have only view sales, view purchase orders, view
everything.
Everything is view, because their role is not to edit anything. So I think that was the question you're asking. Then we have branches. You can create branches if you have more than one branches here.
One branch.
Yes, you create a branch, then you say, this is HQ head office, the phone number of the contact person, the email and all that. Such that when I'm enrolling the other users, I can tag them to a branch. Also, the different SKUs inventory can be tagged to the different branches. You get? Now there is warehouses. Warehouses, it means every branch has automatically a warehouse. You may have a branch like HQ, but it doesn't hold inventory, but it is there just to maybe hold some other transactions in finance. So that, like you see, HQ has no main warehouse, right? Because we can't transfer stock to HQ. But a day may come and you feel like there is a decision, transfer all the damages to HQ, such that we close there, maybe something like that. That can always happen. But HQ, which means that's the difference now between a branch and a warehouse. A warehouse manages inventory, and a branch is just there for reporting purposes. Then customers, suppliers, products, we have seen all this, that you can have different products. They come with the cost price and the selling price. Now that is under master data. Then now when we come to, now we can start afresh. What do we start with? That is always, we start with an LPO, right? You already have suppliers. The next thing is, let me say I'm creating an LPO. So you'll go ahead, create an LPO. Here you select a supplier who is already in the system, let's say Unilever. Then you select a warehouse. We are going to receive this at Kampala, Maine. Then you select the date. We are receiving this tomorrow. You give the reference, the supplier code may be something like that. Then you put notes, and here select the products. We need Sprite. You give the quantities, 12, and it automatically computes because we have the buying price. Then we need Reham Cola. Then here I'll put 100, 111, it automatically computes. Then you go ahead and confirm LPO. So since I'm in a testing account, I can go ahead and confirm, don't mind on that. So the PO order will be created, and when I come here, this is the LPO, which means I can receive the LPO, but it is already confirmed. If I had saved it as draft, then here would be a button to confirm it, right? So this is already confirmed, which means when I go under LPOs, I can view this. Let me first go on the list of LPOs. So you see the list of LPOs, these are received, this one is still in confirmed. So if I tap here again, I go back to viewing it. We want Sprite, we need this. This is ordered, and here it shows you haven't received anything, and this is what is remaining to receive. So I can go ahead and receive stock. So maybe you receive only 10 from the supplier, and here you receive only 100. Then you can put notes, maybe 2 remaining, and 11. Confirm receipt. So the moment you confirm receipt, we have receipted. Here it shows you what you have received. You see this? It means that Sprite and Reham have received 10 and 100. In which warehouse? Kampala main. So when we go to inventory, stock levels, Kampala main, I can put here Kampala main. Sorry. So you see Kampala main, the movement we have had is Sprite. We have received 10. It is low stock because it is below the reorder level. Then Reham we have received 100, right? So already the stock levels give you, even the movements here, they tell you what happened. You see you have purchased Sprite and Reham plus 10 and plus 100, even it gives you the LPO, which means if you're running your report, it becomes easy. Then even it shows here the movements that I've done. If I select today, it automatically tells me that today I only did a movement of plus 110, which is the total of this, right? Now, I can go ahead and invoice this supplier. So this supplier is not yet invoiced, which means when we go back to LPO, it is partially received. Let's look at it. So you see, even though it is partially received, you can go ahead and create a supplier invoice. So if I say create a...
My question is, you see how you made an amendment to the quantities? Like you're supposed to receive 12, you receive 10. What if the price also changes along the way? You had planned 1,200, probably along the way, like a day or 2 days, price has gone to 13,011.
Yeah, if you have changed price, it automatically updates the price. The day you receive, let's say if we change the buying prices, it will capture the current buying prices for when we receive this. It means that when they deliver this, it can be overridden that this LPO, we have changed the price. Obviously, purchasing, you can't change a price when you have a delivery, that an LPO that is coming with a different price. It means when it reaches, you have to create a new LPO. You have to cancel this LPO and create a new one. Maybe when you decide with the supplier to receive... Sorry?
An LPO can be made, yeah? When an LPO can be made. But remember, when an LPO is made, because, let me see, when you send someone an LPO,
and the price changes.
And the price changes.
Obviously, they will notify you.
Yeah, to make another LPO, okay.
Yeah, the price has changed. You'll come back this side. It means you'll have not yet received, right? Either you'll cancel the LPO or you adjust it accordingly. Now, for this case, let's say if the price changes, when you have already adjusted this, it means that you can decide, obviously those come as functionalities to decide that I'm going to receive on the previous one or I'll receive on the new prices. You can decide on that and maybe issue a credit note at some point, something like that, or the supplier issues a credit note, depending on what it takes, who reduced and whether it reduced or increased. Now here, when you try to create a supplier invoice, it tells me no received quantities are available to the invoice. It means that we haven't received fully. So I can come back here, receive stock. You see this, there is that 2 and 11. So you can decide to cancel this and void, but let me receive this, confirm receiving, then the received becomes 12. Then here I can go ahead and create. Wait a minute. View GRN. Supplier, okay. Create invoice. I think there is a problem with that. But when you click on create invoice, it is meant to automatically create the invoice like how we see these invoices were created. So the moment you create invoice, that's where you get another button here of to record a payment. That is now finance. To record a payment has been done. So you see like this invoice was fully received and finance recorded a payment here on 27th. And this was the payment confirmed, and it was by bank transfer. So that supplier bit is done. It means now the other bit that you go to is selling. So selling, sometimes it involves first creating a quotation in case you're selling things that need a quotation first, which means you can create a quotation, then after that you convert it to a sales order. Or you can go directly to a sales order. That's why we have either you create a sales order or you start with a quotation. So if I start with a quotation, because I know in Kampala main we have Sprite. So let me say I'm creating a quotation. The customer, let's say, is Cattle Investments, Warehouse Kampala. The date is today. I'm creating a quotation. You can put a reference. I can put the notes. Then you'll realize that here I can only see SKUs that are only in stock, which means I can't create a quotation for an SKU I don't have.
You don't have?
Yes, in this main, you see I selected Kampala main. If I select Kasese, still I will only receive those in Kasese. You get it? So that's the validation we have there. So here I can go ahead, maybe select Sprite. That's the selling. Here select Reham. Then I can have this to 4. I can have this to 8. Now this becomes a quotation. I can go ahead and create the quotation. It is created. So this is the quotation, which means I can print the quotation and send it to the customer. Now you see how the quotation prints. It prints with all the details. You configured the other side. You see the logo, your company, the email, the number, the address, the team, everything. Then here it brings in the customer. This customer is in our system. It comes with all the details you registered with them, right? Then these are default from the system, the warehouse.
Why has it created a quotation?
Now you see there are some things like, let's say, plumbing. A plumber will come, if you have a plumbing shop, things to do with plumbing. A plumber will come and say, create for me a quotation. I want to go and discuss it with the boss, how you sell your things and how we can support you, right?
Okay.
You create for them a quotation. Now this becomes a quotation. Now it means the next day when they say, okay, you can now deliver those things or create for us an invoice, which means now you'll come on the quotations you have, this, then I'll come and confirm it. You get? I'll convert into a sales order. So the moment I click on convert into the sales order, it converts directly into a sales order. I converted it before I showed you that we can change some things. They can change some things on a quotation. This one, instead of 2, give us 5. This one, instead of this, give us this. You can change that. Now, when it is changed into a sale order, you see now it is already a sale order and has been converted. Then you can go ahead and start fulfilling it. So, if you are going to use a trip, if you are going to do delivery, then when you go to trips, let's say creating a trip, you'll be seeing that sale order. You see it here. You see Kato Investments. It means that I can select a vehicle, select a driver, then it automatically picks. Then I say this driver is going to deliver this order. Then I put it on a trip. Then the driver goes, I transition, dispatched, delivered. It automatically transitions here the sale order into a delivery note. But if you're not using this module, automatically you come on sale orders and wait a minute. Just wait a minute, I think there is a lag. So when you come on sale orders, you can automatically transition them without going through a trip. So why is it taking long? Yeah, here it is. So sale order, this is confirmed. Now this is it, Kato Investment. So I'll come on this and automatically fulfill stock. So fulfill stock, this is the sale order, then I confirm fulfillment. Then it will be fulfilled. Then I can go ahead and create a delivery note, or I can skip a delivery note, but I think it is already created. Yeah, it's already created automatically. Or I can go ahead and create an invoice. Now this invoice goes to the customer, right? So if I say create an invoice, the invoice will be created. Then, just a moment. Now, this is the invoice, which means I can print out the invoice. It has to print out like with all the details. And if there are taxes, then the taxes will hold. Yeah, depending if how you have configured it. Okay. Now here you can come and record a payment for the customer. They have made the payment for 21,600. I'll come and punch it here. This is today bank, or it picks automatically, but you can edit and you remain demanding them, but they can't pay excess. So can change this to whichever transfer mode, then go ahead and record a payment. So which means the total has been recorded. This person has balance due 0, and this is the payment recorded. So it means that after creating an invoice, now when we go back to inventory stock levels, we shall find out that where here, let's put Kampala. We shall find out that you see the Sprite has reduced to 8 and the Reham has reduced to 103. And when you look at movements, we have done sales of -4 and -8. And stock was this, now it is this. Just this is the inventory now. You can even pass the dates and say today what has transpired. We received this. These are purchases. Yeah, we have a purchase. Then yeah, because we did it ×2. Yeah. Then here, this is the sale. So 12 were out, 123 were in. In case there is a return, you can generate a return here. Then here we have now reports. Now on report overview, that is the interesting bit. I think it is because the feature I developed last. Report overview, it gives a full dashboard of the report.
Of your performance.
Your performance, whether in 30 days, whether this week, whether you want today, everything. So you don't need now to have another tool that is running your reports. So it tells you that today, your stock evaluation, you woke up with this. Your sales summary is 21,600. Your purchase was this. You have done a profit margin of this on whatever you sold. You run by the close of business, low stock alerts with 11 SKUs that are low, right? If we say 30 days, obviously the numbers will be different for the 30 days. So this report, you can go ahead and export it in PDF. Maybe you're sharing with a business. That's how it appears in PDF with all the numbers. If you want it in Excel, obviously it will extract all the numbers that are in these visuals. So here you can easily tell that we have purchased this is the sale, and the other one is the profit, 61,500. So this is month on month, revenue, COGS and gross profit, stock movement trends that we have managed to visualize. Then the stock, the low stock and reorder risks, Kampala, Kasese, then the driver, but this one we shall remove it. So that becomes a report. Then you have stock valuations. Now this is on finance, like you have the details on what stock you have right now and the value it holds, 1.7. So ideally you can look at the business and you say we have woke up with 1.7. Then the sales you have done, it gives you everything. Maybe if you go ahead and it gives you a default of a month, but you can change the dates for you to get the top customers, the top products, and where you have had the daily revenues. That is a summary of how you have sold. Still, you can do purchase valuations. Here it is, top suppliers, most purchased products, and the daily spend. That is the payments you did. Then we have a report for entirely for profits. It gives you on every SKU how much profit you have generated on every SKU. So you can easily tell between these dates, Pepsi, the cost was this is the revenue, and this is the gross profit of the 30 quantities. And you can tell where you are having a green or a red, depending whether it is a profit or loss. Then we have low stock. Here it gives you a capture of what is out of stock and what is running below the reorder level. You can run customer statements. So customer statements, let's say the other person, who was he? Kato Investments. So Kato Investments, this is his statement, which means I can go ahead and print it out. And this is the way it looks like. And this is the statement. So you can do this month, 3 months ago, 6 months, this year, or you can select by date. I think I haven't added the date. Then the supplier statement, the same replica. We did Unilever, you can pick out Unilever and you see this was their bill and this was their payment. And both credit and debit, the double entry was completed. Yeah, I think that is on reporting. Then what else have I not tackled? Adjustments. Now on adjustments, like if you want to do an adjustment, it can be an opening stock. You're bringing in, you're counting an SKU that has not been in the system and you're generating its stock. You're not purchasing it, but you want to put its opening stock. Or if you're doing a manual adjustment, you can say which product, let's say Sprite, which warehouse, Kampala, then you adjust here, whether minus or positive. It tells here that positive to add stock, minus to remove stock. And you save. In case you have losses or damages or you have realized excess, you can adjust. Then also you can import bulk if you are adjusting more than one, that you don't want to do it one by one. Then you can run transfers from one warehouse to the other. Let's say product Sprite, I want to move from Kampala to Kasese, I want to move 2 quantities. It is an urgent sale. Urgent sale. So put the notes, record a transfer. So the transfer will be recorded. So when we go to the movements, you'll see that transfer in +2 into Kasese main, transfer out from Kampala, it was 8, we removed 2, remain with 6. Here they are 25, we add 2, they get 27. That is a transfer. You can do a transfer. I think this is it. Yeah, more features are coming. There is a feature I'm already developing that is on Sabtech, which I'm working on, that you can create an event and create a Sabtech on any day, and also a monthly Sabtech that you'll have to make a Sabtech, then you generate a variance report from the system, whether you want to bill your team for the losses and all that, just to have a visibility of that. Then for the other expensing and all that, raw materials, name them, that is something that may come later, but not now. I never wanted to make it so heavy, since I called it mini ERP. Ideally, I don't want to make it so heavy for businesses that are not doing the manufacturing bit. But that's something, the module, I can put a future flag that it is always off. Whoever wants it, that's where we change that workflow for that particular company or client. Yeah. So that's it. First of all, it is a multi-tenancy software as a service, SaaS. It means that there is security. Everyone accesses their own data. We use a model of a company ID. It means everything of yours is tagged on your company ID. When you query for reports, your users, your teams, everything is tagged to you. So it can never cross over. Then maybe something else people may ask is, what if I want to host my own data? Then that becomes a different discussion, which comes into an enterprise bit, where we need.
What do you mean hosting?
You see, you may say, me, I have my own servers. I want to host my own data, right? Like, I want to host everything this system is doing on my own servers. That becomes a separate configuration that we shift everything, the APIs and all that. It means that you pay these subscriptions on your own, like they are over